Hey folks, my name is Kevin and it's time for a little bit more knife nerdery. Today we're going to do a quick disassembly and cleaning on this brand new Seigaiha wave pattern F5.5 from Urban EDC, designed by Jesper Voxnaes. You hear that? I'm getting a weird kind of squeaking noise, and it's also just, not anywhere near as drop shut as this one, which I have cleaned out and tuned. This one is very easy to close, so figured give this one just a slight tune up. Now we're going to need T8 drivers, plural, I hate that, but we have keyed pivots on both sides. So at least it's not fully free spinning, but it's the kind of thing where we're going to need to anchor it in order to go. So that's very annoying. Come on. Ooh, that is in there. Wow. Really? Huh. That is unexpected. This is really, really tight. Oh, you know what I'm doing? I am turning the wrong side. Yeah, okay. So as you can see, this side is backing out, not this side, which means I was spinning the pivot in place rather than spinning the hole that the pivot goes into. And not the screw that goes into the pivot hole. And that's one of those things where another reason why I don't like these double keyed is it's not immediately obvious which side is the screw and which side is the full pivot. So I was experiencing that extra tension there because of the fact that, oh my god, yeah, that's super easy. Oh, that's dumb. But I was experiencing that extra tension because I was trying to turn the entire pivot in all of the things that are making contact with it. I believe it's just going to be these two, and these are also going to be T8s. And then it should come apart pretty easily. So I do appreciate that. Full T8 hardware everywhere. Came out easily enough. I can't tell if that was thread locked in or just very tight. Yeah, no sign of thread locker, just a very nice tight screw. Okay. Yeah, those are very tight, but not in a bad way. Okay, so then in theory now, how much does this want to come off? Easily enough. So, what do we have going on here? We have our raceway washers. We have our caged ceramic ball bearings. And we have tie liners. That's something I always found kind of odd about this knife. It's a titanium handle, but there's titanium liners in the handle. And it kind of, makes me wonder just why? Why not just make it out of a slab? But I mean, the short version of why is that this is a liner lock, and that is one way of making this a liner lock. But why is this side not just one full slab? Like, it could have easily been one full slab. And they also could do this instead by doing a full slab and then just a leaf spring that connects right there. But whatever, there's no harm in this. And yeah, this is pretty clean actually. There's not a lot, so I'm not really sure what benefit I will really gain from this. This is one of those times where they drilled the detent hole all the way through rather than just making a single one. And that's honestly kind of surprising to me given how thick this blade stock is, because it certainly doesn't need to go all the way through. And so why drill an even longer hole than you need to when you just need a really kind of a little dot? Anyway, let's get going. This shouldn't be hard. There's not a whole lot to do here. Just gonna use some isopropyl rubbing alcohol. Use one of these little swatches. spill it everywhere as we go. So this is very tight in here. Like very, very tight, which is why I was having so much trouble spinning it earlier, because there is not, it's an extremely compression fit object, which is a little bit surprising, but that does mean that it's not terribly free spinning. So I probably could have opened that up without using the other driver if I was just, if I was just on the right side originally. Ooh, these flow nice. Sometimes when you get these brass caged, stamped, pressed ball bearings, sometimes they don't flow super freely, but this, ooh, yeah. Yeah, these are nice bearings. Oh yeah, wow, those really do. I mean, this is brand new, but like, I'm legitimately impressed with how smooth those are. I got this Q-tip out, but I'm not 100% sure I'm really going to need it. This is just not as... I guess I shouldn't be surprised. This is brand new, straight from Riot. I mean, when I unboxed it a moment ago, it was sealed. And Riot is known for having pretty clean knives inside. But I will say also, this was pretty dry. And so, while I don't think I'm going to get a whole lot of benefit from cleaning, I do think I'm going to get benefit from lubing this up. Okay, well, that's easy enough. We are going to use some 10 weight nano oil on the bearings and pivot, and some 85 weight nano oil on the detent ball. Let's get a little dab right here. Stir that around. Now, when I disassembled this just a moment ago, I noticed that they had these facing out. And it's not a case where it's fully submerged, but it's pretty close to fully submerged. And so these are cases where I prefer to have the opening on a press fit stamped bearing facing in, because then the majority of it is in the pocket of this recessed counter bore right here. And that helps keep cruft out of these. That's one of the benefits of the closed bearings that you can get from Skiff and other folks like that. But so I'm going to actually put them in the opposite direction that they had them. And some people are not comfortable with that. Some people are not comfortable with going against what the manufacturer did. But in this is a case where it's not going to make a really big difference, and it will have a slight impact on how frequently I need to take this apart and clean it again. So that is why I'm choosing that. I want a little bit of this on the pivot itself. One thing I'm surprised by is how much play there is right here. Like, there's actually a fairly big gap, relatively speaking. Like, I was expecting this to be a little bit more of a tighter fit. And that's one of the benefits that you get from those closed bearings that you find from manufacturers like Skiff. Their tolerances are way, way, way better than you'll find on these pressed bearings. But the ones from Riot are usually pretty good in that regard, so that's why I said I was a little bit surprised. Oh, that's what I was doing. I was putting this right here. And I already put some right there, I think. I don't remember. Pretty sure I did. Oh yeah, that already feels much, much smoother. Put more. You can see that this is the side that was running on it, because there is the line right there where the bearings had rolled. And that is one of the benefits of this being a tight fit. If this can move about, then it'll subtly change where the alignment of those balls are. And the one time when it moves around, it'll be right here. And the next time it'll be right there. And the next time it'll be right there. And by having a very good tight fitment on that, you get a singular path rolling through as you open and close the knife. And so it's just everything about having good tolerances improve. Good tolerances improves everything about the action. Minorly, but it does improve it. Okay, so this is all super, super easy to put together. There's very little going on. Let's get our little dab here. I can't put it in that hole the same way. The fact that this is heavy is why I'm able to spread this out. And it looks like I put a ton on here, but the reality is it's just so thick that it like spreads fast. I probably did put on more than I needed, but it just comes out quickly. But it also just looks that way. It's kind of a little bit deceiving, although that does look like a heck of a lot. Line this up. Line that up. One of the things about Riot tends to make knives that are of the high tolerance form where everything is like a really tight compression fit. And so everything just kind of fits together like a tank. And so as a result, this is like surprisingly together right now. Let's put these back in. Easy enough. If you're not used to screwing in screws, first of all, these are fantastic screws. Riot just has great hardware. What I mean by fantastic is that it makes a very tight fit. Like there is zero wiggle here whatsoever, and it's a deep fit on a nice Weha bit driver. But anyway, the other part that makes them fantastic is just how crisp this is. It makes very clean engagement. But if you're not used to screwing in screws, the first thing you always want to do is work the screw backward just slightly. And what you'll see, like if it's slightly cocked like this, working the screw backward, you'll hear it click into place. Yeah, and that means that you now know your threading is lined up correctly. And as soon as it clicks into place, that's when you can start going forward and know that you have a good fit there. I like to, when assembling knives, do the back body screws first and do them just lightly, and then do the pivot screw and then finish these off once I know that my centering is good. I'm gonna put a little bit of blue Loctite on here. The reality is that this pivot is so crisp and clean that it probably doesn't even need it. It probably won't walk, but just doing it just to be safe. Now I like to put Loctite on a toothpick like this because that allows me to get it down a little bit too much, get it down into the threads. And so I'm just working this around. You can't really see, but I am just moving this around inside here and getting it on the inside of the threads. And the reasoning for that is that oftentimes if you put it on the tip here, it'll go just into the bottom and not get onto the threads. Or if you get it onto the side, it has a tendency to work itself back up. And so this guarantees that I have it where I actually want it to be. So I'm curious whether or not I even need the other screw to be able to get this where I want it. Because, yeah, I didn't have to put any pressure on this. This was such a tight fit. This is perfectly centered. How much? And 0 blade play. Wow, this thing is such a freaking bank vault. Okay. Oh! Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is so smooth now. Wow! Okay, I was saying at the beginning that it was pale in comparison to this one, but this one, I have to shake. This one is basically falling. Wow, this is so good. Yeah, that is beautiful. Okay, so now, am I getting any blade play on that? No, that is locked. Wow, okay. So now we just set this aside, let that Loctite cure, and this is good to go. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Catch you next time.